खुदा ने हमको दी है कामरानी फसुबहानल्लज़ी औफल अमानी बना दिया.
Over the last week, Hazrat Amir al-Momineen, may Allah be his helper, continued to meet with the members of the Jamaat, including meetings with National Amila of Canada, the press and media team, and Lajna Imala. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, delighted residents and guests of Peace Village by taking a walk down the streets on one of the last nights of Hazur's stay. Leaving Peace Village, Hazrat Amir al-Momineen, may Allah be his helper, traveled from Ontario to Saskatchewan. Arriving in Saskatoon, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, held a press conference with members of the Canadian press and media. Later, Hazur departed from Regina, the capital city of Saskatchewan, where Hazrat Amir al-Momineen, may Allah be his helper, would be inaugurating the Mahmoud Mosque. It was on Friday, October 4th, 2016, that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, delivered the first Friday sermon from the newly opened Mahmoud Mosque in Regina, Saskatchewan. Prior to the sermon, Hazur inaugurated the mosque by unveiling the commemorative plaque and offering silent prayers. A purposefully built mosque, the construction of the Mahmoud Mosque was funded by local Ahmadi Muslims. The capacity of the mosque is 400, with additional space for 100 people in the common area. In a first for Canada, local members of the Jamaat played a significant role in its physical construction, as many volunteered their time to help construct the mosque. A total of 41,500 man-hours were dedicated by local Ahmadi Muslims in building the mosque. In the inaugural Friday sermon to be delivered from the Mahmoud Mosque, Hazrat Amir al-Momineen spoke about the sacrifices made by the Jamaat and how they had helped keep the costs of building the mosque low. Speaking about the expenses, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, said,
जब मस्जिद की तामीर का काम शुरू करने का मरहला आया और कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स के से राब्ते किए गए तो कम से कम टेंडर भी ये कहते हैं कि 2.8 मिलियन का था, जिसमें बाकी अखराजात में लाकर $3.5 मिलियन तक बात पहुंचती थी. लेकिन जो कुल खर्च हुआ मस्जिद की तामीर में और उसको मुकम्मल करने में, वो $1.6 मिलियन का हुआ है. अब एक दुनियादार इस बात को सुनकर हैरान होगा कि किस तरह हो सकता है कि ठेकेदारों के कम से कम टेंडर के भी मुकाबले में भी निस्फ से कम रकम में मस्जिद की तकमील हो गई. यकीनन एक दुनियादार इसका अंदाज़ा नहीं लगा सकता. हमेशा याद रखना चाहिए कि मस्जिद हमारी तरबियत के लिए भी और तबलीग के लिए भी इंतहाई अहम है.
Reminding Jamaat members of their duties to humanity, Hazur explained that we should not only be happy by construction of a mosque, rather, our target should be to increase the number of people who believe in Allah and His Messenger, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
बस आज दुनिया को हलाकत से बचाना अहमदियों का काम है, और लेकिन उसके लिए शर्त वही है कि हमारे कदम आगे बढ़ें. आप फरमाते हैं कि एक आदमी की खातिर भी लाखों जानें बचाई जाती हैं. बस हर अहमदी की बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है कि दुनिया को बचाए. जब दुनिया खुदा को भूल रही है, हमारा फ़र्ज़ है कि हम दुनिया को बचाएं.
After Friday prayers, Hazrat Amir al-Momineen, may Allah be his helper, presided over a press conference attended by local and national media outlets.
Thank you. Welcome to Regina. I just wanted to ask, of course, I think everyone is concerned about world events and extremism.
Everybody is concerned about?
Sorry, about sort of world events and the growth of extremism and some of the intolerance. I'm just wondering, do you see a role for a small mosque here in the middle of the prairies to assist in reducing extremism and preventing extremism?
Even when there was no mosque here, we were spreading the same message. And there are quite a number of big cities and towns where we don't have our mosques. But Ahmadis living in those countries and towns spread the message of love and harmony. You see, if our message is right, and this is the need of the day, then no matter whether we have a small community or small mosque, people do accept it.
In a predominantly Christian country, this is a historic day for thousands of Ahmadiyya Muslims. Their spiritual leader arrived earlier this week for the inauguration of the Mahmoud Mosque in East Regina. Virginia Wright shares the celebration and the message.
A historical day for thousands of Muslims. The first ever Ahmadiyya Mosque opens in Regina. Along with His Holiness being in Regina for the inauguration of the new mosque, part of his global tour also includes spreading the peaceful teachings of Islam.
Hazur held one-on-one interviews with both Global News and CTV News Saskatoon.
What do we as Canadians have to do to foster more inclusivity in the world?
You see, what the world needs today is to stop all type of atrocities and spread the peace and love and harmony. So this is what every person should do. And being a big nation, Canadians should also play their role in this regard.
And this is the first mosque in Regina that we've seen built. What does that mean to you? It's been a long time coming. How does that feel?
You see, wherever there's Ahmadiyya Muslim community, there should be one place to worship. And the worship place in Islam is called mosque. So here we have got a mosque now where all Ahmadi Muslims can get together for congregational prayer. And it is very much important when you have the place to worship, then you are more organized. So this is why I always say that in every part of the world, wherever even a small number of Ahmadis are residing, there should be a mosque.
The Regina Leader Post also covered the event, with the article being published the next morning.
It's a historic day for the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Regina. The inauguration of a new mosque featured a visit from a religious leader. CBC's Tori Gillis following it all. She joins me now live from downtown Regina, where a reception is getting underway. Tori, tell us what's happening.
That's right, Jill. A reception is getting underway for the next visit of the Caliph. Now, he is the world head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Just let that sink in a little bit. That is the top leader in the world for this group of millions of followers, and he's here in Regina. Now, of course, that's a major milestone for his followers here. Escorted motorcade arrived with the Caliph. He delivered a sermon and an inauguration for the first purpose-built mosque here in Saskatchewan. Again, the Mahmoud Mosque in the city's East End. Now, that's the first building that was built specifically to become a mosque, so it's a very big deal for the followers here. As well, it was also built 100% by volunteer work, and you can imagine that it took a whole lot of it for that building.
Later in the evening, a reception was held for the inauguration of the Mahmoud Mosque. The event was attended by several dignitaries, politicians, religious figures, as well as government officials and residents from the surrounding area. After welcoming the guests and thanking them for accepting the invitation to attend, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, spoke about the current situation in the Muslim world, describing it as extremely precarious and turbulent.
We are all well aware of the fact that recent years certain so-called Muslim extremist groups have formed and are perpetrating the most horrific brutalities in the name of Islam. Where they are fighting one another, they are also waging wars against their leaders and rulers. As a result of all of this, there has been a complete breakdown in society in some Muslim countries. Rather than living peacefully, those nations are mired in a state of perpetual and utterly senseless cycle of violence and destruction. What is happening can only be deemed as an absolute stain on humanity.
Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, also stated that whilst the local people in Regina and the wider Saskatchewan province had a good relationship with Ahmadi Muslims, there might be fears among the locals that the opening of the mosque could change the dynamic of that relationship. Hazur reassured them, saying,
"The only plotting that takes place in our Ahmadi mosques is to determine how we can quell the heartache and grief of those who are bereft and deprived. The only schemes we hatch are to remove the heavy burden of desperation and hopelessness that weigh down those who are consumed by hardship and misfortune."
Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, explained that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community was acting upon the true teachings of Islam and was conducting a true jihad.
Our jihad is not a jihad of swords, guns, or bombs. Our jihad is not a jihad of cruelty, brutality, and injustice. Rather, our jihad is of love, mercy, and compassion. Our jihad is of tolerance, justice, and human sympathy. Our jihad is to fulfill the rights of God Almighty and of His creation.
I believe the message that he gave is a message that it transcends borders and countries, and it's something that whether you're in the city of Regina, in the country of Canada, or anywhere in the world, it makes sense, and it's something that I think we should be all striving for.
I listened to every word and I took it to heart, and the message is fantastic: love for all, hatred for none. If all the world were like that, what a wonderful world it would be.
I'm looking forward to participating in prayer in the mosque. I think that atmosphere of tolerance and ecumenicalism is just what we need.
Reminded me of Jesus. Peace, love, no hatred, humanity. You can treat one another with love and decency.
On Saturday, November 5th, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, left for Lloydminster from Regina. Lloydminster has the unusual geographic distinction of straddling the province border between Alberta and Saskatchewan. Upon his arrival, Hazrat Amirul Momineen inaugurated the Baitul Aman Mosque. Prior to leading the evening prayers, Huzur conducted the Ameen of several fortunate children. A reception for the inauguration of the Baitul Aman Mosque was held on Sunday afternoon. Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, attended a lunch with several dignitaries as well as politicians and local guests. Thanking all of the guests in attendance, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, reminded those present that the world was going through uncertain and troubling times. During his keynote address, Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, spoke about the mosques and their true objectives, saying that the meaning of the word masjid was a place for people to congregate in complete humility and submission in order to worship God Almighty.
The Arabic word for mosque is masjid. And this word literally means a place for people to congregate in complete humility and submission in order to worship God Almighty. If a person enters a mosque with this meek spirit, considering himself to be worthless, he can never wish any type of harm on others or be the cause of discord and animosity. A Muslim who offers his prayers with humility is a person who is kind, caring, and merciful, and who strives to stay away from immorality, illegal activity, and all forms of evil. Rather than promoting disorder or division, mosques are a means of bringing people together in humility for the worship of their Creator.
We haven't had anyone of this stature, certainly for many of the spiritual communities around the world, be present here. So I think it's a recognition on the part of the city that we have, this connection, and the fact that someone as important as the Holiness would take his time to come here, I think is a sign and a symbol that, we need to pay attention to this. We need to look at the good work that's being done, and we need to make sure we welcome everyone into our community.
Well, I think His Holiness has done such a great job of reaffirming the importance of what the mosque is, and he spoke about the mosque as a place not just of worship but of gathering and of community. And again, that perspective we have, and so unfortunately the Ahmadiyya community always ends up, in my view, doing the heavy lifting. You've got certain radicalized elements elsewhere in the faith, and it's always the Ahmadi community who build bridges and reach out and do such great interfaith work.
A man that understands the world, understands the challenges we have in the world, but sees the good in humanity and how, if working together, we can create a better world for all of us to live in.
A press conference was held later in the day, which was graced by Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper. Several members of the local media attended this meeting, including 106.1, the GOAT Radio, New Cap News TV, Lloyd FM, Vermilion Voice Radio, and the Vermilion Standard.
History was made in Lloydminster this weekend as the head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim faith, the Caliph, was in town for the inauguration of the local Ahmadiyya mosque. Josh Ryan has more on the Caliph's visit, which local leaders say already has made an impact in the border city.
Since I was here on my tour to Canada, so I felt it appropriate while going to Calgary, I stop over here and visit Lloydminster.
The Caliph also met with local dignitaries, surprising them with his interest and background in farming.
We had an opportunity to discuss agriculture to a great extent, and it was an incredible experience as he was asking about the farming practices in our area.
The Caliph is continuing to tour Canada and help share the true teachings of Islam.
If you summarize the true teaching of Islam in 2 sentences, that is to love your Creator and discharge His duties, and you love your fellow beings and discharge their duties you owe to them.
Afterwards, local members of the Jamaat were able to meet with their beloved Hazur, and many took photographs as a keepsake of the occasion. Later in the evening, Hazur traveled back to Saskatoon. On Monday, November 7th, 2016, Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, presided over 2 classes with Lajna and Khuddam, post-secondary students. After Tilawat and Nazam, students gave short presentations on their research, which was followed by a brief question and answer period.
My research is on honey, and Khaksar is doing a postdoc in the University of Toronto. And Huzur, just a few days ago, you sent Huzur. I received a letter from Huzur Yaktas in which Huzur said that I should tell Ahmadis to go into the field of honey research. So I will just present a few of some of my research and findings.
Assalamu alaikum, Huzur. My question is, do insecticides, has it been proven that they have any kind of effect on the honey, or is that filtered out when the bees actually create the honey itself?
The studies, the honeybees are actually very, very good at taking out any impurities from the environment. So studies haven't shown that any insecticide residue remains.
Residual effect कोई नहीं उसका.
No, Huzur, अभी तक studies.
Insecticides अच्छा कहीं भी इस्तेमाल हुआ है.
जी honey पे उसको साबित नहीं होता. Honeybee is very good at removing those.
वो हो नहीं सकता जो जिस पे इंसेक्टिसाइड स्प्रे किया हुआ है जिन क्रॉप पे या फ्लावर्स पे उस पे जो हनी ने जाके नेक्टर लेना तो खुद ही मर जाना. हनी मरना ही नहीं उससे. क्योंकि अक्सर जो इंसेक्टिसाइड हैं सिस्टमिक इस्तेमाल होते हैं अब, तो वो साथ ही ट्रैवल कर जाते हैं सिस्टम में तो ख़त्म हो जाता है. इसलिए तो मक्खियाँ मर रही हैं. तकरीबन 30% जो इनके फार्म है वो तबाह हो गए हैं. इंसेक्टिसाइड से ज़्यादा मेजर कॉज का इंसेक्टिसाइड्स ही हैं.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू. प्यारे हुजूर, मेरा सवाल ये है कि अक्सर ज़िंदगी में जब मुश्किलात होती हैं तो दुआ में दर्द, जोश और जुनून होता है, मगर जब ज़िंदगी में आसानी पैदा होती है तो खुदा का शुक्र तो होता है, लेकिन दुआ में वो दर्द, जोश और जुनून नहीं रहता. इसके लिए हमें क्या करना चाहिए?
इसलिए खुदा का शुक्र भी नहीं होता. अगर सही शुक्र हो तो शुक्र में भी तो हो जाता है. लोग किसी को प्यारे को मिलते हैं, किसी करीबी को मिलते हैं, तो कुछ ना करते हुए आंखों में आंसू आ जाते हैं ना. ठीक है, बस इसका मतलब है कि वो प्यार ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है उस वक्त अल्लाह ताला के प्यार से. अगर सही शुक्रगुजारी हो अल्लाह ताला की तो उस शुक्रगुजारी में ही जोश हो जाना चाहिए पैदा. ठीक है.
Subsequently in the evening, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, visited the construction site of the Baitur Rahmat Mosque. Built on 8 acres of land, when complete, the Baitur Rahmat Mosque will be able to hold 900 people with an overflow capacity of 1,100. It will feature a funeral preparation room, in-floor heating system, and will also use solar power.
ये वाली सीढ़ियाँ ऊपर दफ्तर में जाती है. ये वाला जिम का एरिया है. ये फ्यूनरल प्रेप एरिया है. ये वाला जिम्नेजियम है. मल्टीपर्पज़ हॉल है. ये अभी इन्होंने रबर का फ्लोरिंग की है, तो आज ही की है, तो ये वेट है.
Departing from Saskatoon to travel to Calgary, Alberta, Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, arrived safely at Baitul Nur Mosque at approximately 12:30 p.m.
तेरा सफर हो बाएसे रहमत खुदा करे हो लम्हा लम्हा साते नुसरत खुदा करे.
Located in Calgary, the Beit Nur Mosque complex was built on 48,000 square feet of land and was inaugurated by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, on July 5th, 2008. Around the exterior of the building are written the 99 attributes of Allah, as stated in the Quran.
फिगन हो नुसरत मौला कदम कदम साया फिगन हो नुसरत मौला कदम कदम हर मुल्क में तुम्हारी हिफाजत खुदा करे. हर मुल्क में तुम्हारी हिफाजत खुदा करे. तेरा सफर हो बायसे रहमत खुदा करे. मुश्किल कोई बने ना किसी जा भी सद रहा. मुश्किल कोई बने ना किसी जा भी सद रहा. हर हाल में तुम्हारी एआनत खुदा करे. हर हाल में तुम्हारी एआनत खुदा करे. तेरा सफर हो बायसे रहमत खुदा करे. दुनिया बगोश होश सुने तेरी बात को. दुनिया बगोश होश सुने तेरी बात को.
On Wednesday, November 9th, Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, attended a large press conference held at the Beit Nur Mosque. Several prominent members of the Canadian press were present, including CTV, Global News, CBC News, Metro, and City TV. As it was the day after the U.S. presidential elections, several journalists asked Hazur's opinion on the matter. Hazur also discussed Islamophobia, as well as the Syrian migrant crisis. Majority of the media outlets present in the press conference broadcasted the report the same day on television and the internet.
One of the most prominent Muslim leaders on the planet is in Calgary today, and you're going to hear his thoughts on President Trump next. Welcome back. One of the world's most influential Muslim leaders is in Calgary today, and he isn't shying away from last night's election results. The Caliph of the Ahmadiyya Muslims spoke at a mosque in the city's northeast this afternoon, and he thinks Donald Trump's pledge to close the U.S. border to Muslims was only a campaign tactic.
Afterwards, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, conducted a one-on-one interview with Ian Campbell.
We've seen some cases of Islamophobia, very sadly, some in Calgary, parts of Canada, and all across the world.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? Is it ignorance?
That is ignorance, and because of their vested interests of those extremist groups and some of the clerics. They have misconstrued the true teaching of Islam and true teaching of the Holy Quran. If you read the Holy Quran, even I've been quoting so many verses of the Holy Quran in my different lectures and addresses, Quran never permits you to behave like this.
Later in the evening, Hazur, may Allah be his helper, graced an audience of Khaddam and Lajna students of Calgary. After Tilawat, Nazm, and short presentations, Hazur answered questions from some students.
Assalamu alaikum, Hazur. My question was that at times in life we come to a junction where we have to make one decision out of two, or we're unsure of what to do. And religion tells us to pray to Allah to find out what to do. But we don't always get a direct instruction or direction as to what to do, and each decision has its consequences. So do you have any prescribed method or a way you prefer on how to go about it or to make a decision when we're not sure?
इतना नेक तो कोई भी नहीं है कि तुम दुआ करो और तुम्हें इल्हाम हो जाए, ठीक है? पहले तो उस नेकी और तकवा का मयार पे बुलंद करना पड़ेगा इस हासिल करने के लिए, वो तो है नहीं. हाँ, तुम्हारे पास दो ऑप्शन है, उन दो ऑप्शंस को अल्लाह ताला ने दिमाग दिया है, सोचो उसके प्रोज एंड कॉन्स दोनों के, ठीक, कि व्हाट टू डू. फिर उसके लिए दुआ करो कि इनमें से जो बेहतर है अल्लाह ताला उसमें मेरे दिल में उसके लिए सूरत पैदा कर दे, और उसके लिए दिल में ख्याल बैठ जाए कि ये बेहतर ऑप्शन है तो ये ठीक है. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि तुम्हें ख्वाब आए या इल्हाम हो या किसी ख़ास तरीके से पता लगे. अगर दिल की सेटिस्फेक्शन हो जाती है तो वो ठीक है. इस्तिखारा का मतलब ही ये है, इस्तिखारे की बात कर रही हो ना, करना क्या, उसका मतलब ये है कि अब जिसमें मेरा दिल बैठ गया है इसमें खैर डाल दे अल्लाह ताला. हैं
स्पेशली जो मुस्लिम कंट्रीज़ में हो रहा है आजकल, और मतलब उनका हर निज़ाम गलत है, करप्ट है. आपके ख्याल से कि ये सिलसिला स्पेशली मुस्लिम कंट्रीज़ में कितने अर्से तक चलेगा?
कितनी देर चलेगा? हज़रत सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने ये पेशगोई फरमाई थी कि जब इस ज़माना बदल जाएगा और मुसलमानों का दीन बिगड़ जाएगा और मुसलमान इस हद तक बिगड़ जाएगा कि वहाँ अपने उलमा के पास भी जब जाएंगे तो उनको गाइड करने के बजाय वहाँ वो ऐसे लोग देखेंगे जो जानवरों की तरह होंगे, जो जुल्म करने की तरफ तवज्जो दिलाएंगे, मतलब गाइड करने वाले होंगे. सब कुछ बिगड़ा हो जाएगा, निज़ाम बिगड़ जाएगा, ठीक है ना. उस ज़माने में मसीह मौद आएगा, ठीक है, और मसीह मौद को मान लेना, ठीक. और निशानियाँ भी बताई, सल्लल्लाहु ने बताई, कुरान करीम ने बताई. वो ज़माना तो ये है, ठीक है. अब ये मुसलमान जब तक उस अल्लाह के आने वाले को नहीं मानते, ये लोग इसी तरह बिगड़े रहेंगे, ठीक है. इसलिए हमारा काम है ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जो इस्लाम की सही तालीम है वो हर जगह पहुंचाने की कोशिश करें.
As this truly historic tour comes to an end, there have been many remarkable and unforgettable moments. From Hazrat Amir al-Momineen, may Allah be his helper's, historic address at the Canadian Parliament, to holding classes and educating students in each city, Huzur has attended a wide range of events, including a large number of press conferences, as well as opening the first purpose-built mosque in Canada, constructed by volunteers in Regina, Saskatchewan. It has been an incredible experience to have Hazrat Amir al-Momineen, may Allah be his helper's, presence as Canada celebrates 50 years of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat's establishment in this great North American country.